The Marketing That Grows Your Business Show. This week, we're going to be talking about how to set up a workshop, specifically, not just any old workshop, but charging for it, a paid workshop in 60 minutes or less. So our special guest today is going to break that down for us. And you might want to do one this week, because you're going to have all the pieces and parts. So as you're coming in, just give me a shout out. Where are you in the world this morning or this evening or this afternoon? I guess I should have said it this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending on where you are in the world. I am excited that you're here. A couple of quick little things. If you're brand new, have never been on one of my shows before, one, I'd like to know who you are. Just type in #do so I can wave to you. And I'll introduce myself. I am Kim Garst. I'm the creator of a brand new program called Design to Scale. It's a new charter program where I help business owners create an education business that is designed to sell each and every day. So if you have knowledge, and trust me, you do, that you want to turn into dollars, then I would love if you are interested and you like, I just don't know how to do this. Book a game plan call, and let's see if I can help you figure out the pieces. You can do that at kimgarst.com/game plan call. I also do giveaways on every one of our Marketing That Grows Your Business show. And this week, we're going to be giving away something that I think might not get to you in time for Black Friday or Cyber Monday sales. But if you get on it, you probably could do it. But it'll certainly set you up very nicely for any Christmas sales or holiday sales in December that you might want to run. So the giveaway today is one of my I call it the last minute kind of how to plan and launch that last minute holiday plan. So not only do you get like the plan, you get the training, but you also get like an email sequence. So all you have to do is pop these pre-written emails into your CRM and run with it. So 2 winners are going to win this. The way we run our giveaways is we encourage you to drop in what we call aha moments. Now let's see if I can get my do it the wrong way every time. You'd think after all these times it's the right hand, Kim. Okay, but I always get it wrong pointing when I point to the aha. So an aha moment is like if you hear something, you're like, oh man, I didn't know that. Or you knew it, but you needed to hear it again. Drop those in to the area down there underneath, and we will enter you into what we call the Wheel of Well. So at the end, we'll spin that wheel, and we will draw our winners and make the announcement there at the end. So that's kind of like giveaways. Let's see. Let me give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Restream. I'm actually wearing their shirt today because it's just super comfy. But if you are looking to go live in multiple locations at the same time, quickly and easily from your desktop, then Restream is a great choice. So if you are interested in just trying it out, you can try it out totally for free. Their pro account is free for 7 days. Simply head over to kimgarst.com/Restream, give it a go. There's also a 25% off lifetime discount if you decide you want to use it long term. You can't get much better than that. So you can try it for free, and you can also get a lifetime discount if you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I need to use this more often. Okay, so I promised you guys a special guest that's going to blow your mind when it comes to setting up a paid workshop. But before I bring her in, I want to just give some shout outs to some of our audience members, the people who are spending time with us. We got Paul in the house. Thank you, Paul, for being here each and every Monday. You're like a regular. I love having you with us. We have Juan in the house as well. Juan, I know you're here most every Monday. We have Chuck in the house. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Chuck. If you guys have questions as we're going along, feel free to ask. One other quick thing, if you know someone that would get value from this, just tag them or sprinkle it out into the world. We love the love around here. We love sharing great knowledge. And every guest that we bring your way has amazing things that they can share when it comes to us. All of us, we're all business owners. We all are looking for clever strategies to market our business. And so every week you can find just that here on the Marketing That Grows Your Business show. So drop in any questions you have as we go. We'll try to answer as many as possible. But I'm excited. So let me tell you just a little bit about our special guest today. So I actually was on Jillian's podcast. We did an interview a couple of weeks ago, and that was the first time I had ever met her. But she's lovely. You guys are going to love her. She is the host of the Blogger Genius podcast, founder of Catch My Party. And don't you want to know what that is? When I heard that, I was like, I got to go Google that. And Milo Tree, that's her newest business. It's a easy payment processor. It helps anyone that wants to sell memberships or workshops in under 15 minutes with no tech. Like tech is usually our like stopping block, right? So that's something you'll definitely want to check out. So put your hands together for our special guest, Jillian. Hey, Jillian.
Hello there. Hi.
How are you?
Happy to be here.
Yes, we're excited to have you. I was, like I said, the Catch My Party, I was like, that's so catchy. And it's like also a no pun intended, but it's also what I would call like a curiosity factor. Just the name itself is like, okay, like I need to like, what is that exactly? So I thought that was kind of an interesting name for a business, but there's also a lesson to be learned there. Like, is there like a story behind that? Because if you can like catch people's interest or curiosity, even with just the name of your business, that's kind of cool. So is there a story behind Catch My Party? I'm just curious.
Sure. Yeah. Catch My Party is so I work with my husband, and it's really good because people always go, how can you work with your husband? But no, it's very good. And we started Catch My Party in 2009. We've been at this for a long time. And Catch My Party, just, is a social photo sharing site all around parties. So it's not weddings, it's birthdays. Like if you're a mom and you've ever planned a party for your child, chances are you've been on my site. Because we're huge on Pinterest. We have something like 1.5 million followers, like 1.5 million followers on Pinterest. And what it is it's all about kids' birthdays and baby showers and holiday parties and bridal showers and things like that. And people upload their party photos to our site. So the way that this is here's a little good quick story. My husband was working at MySpace at the time, and I was a writer in Hollywood writing teen comedy. So MySpace, all teen girls, I'm writing teen comedies, and we say, you know what, let's work together and create a site for teen girls to share party photos. Like, how cool is that? However, so we hired a developer in Indonesia. We built this site. We had no content. So we're like, all right, we need to get content on our site. So I'm this 30-something-year-old woman stalking people on the internet, like stalking teen girls on the internet, going like, hey, will you add your party photos to our site? And by the way, crickets. Nobody, no teen girl is like, people are like, who's this creepy lady contacting me? So we're like, oh no, we have this chicken and egg problem. Because if you don't have content on your site, nobody's going to come to see the content on your site. Like, how do we fix that? Yeah. And then we're on vacation. And one day, all of a sudden, a mom with an Etsy shop, right, who did beautiful party supplies, added her party photos to our site. And we're like, oh no, this is the wrong audience. We've attracted the wrong audience to our site. Should we? And then another mom with an Etsy shop found our site and added her party photos. And these are beautiful photos. But we're like, uh-oh, teen girls aren't going to want to put their party photos up on a site with like Minnie Mouse parties, My Little Pony. And then we step back. And thank God, before we deleted these parties off our site, we're like, wait a second. We think our audience is this, but maybe our audience is this.
Yes.
So we leaned in. So we leaned in and we said, hey, moms who make beautiful things on Etsy, put links to your Etsy shop on our site. We'll help promote you. Yes. And so all of a sudden, we got the ball rolling, but it was like looking at it through new eyes, because we built it with this whole full vision of what it was going to look like.
Yeah.
I think there is something about that with the internet. Be looking for things that are working, even if they're not working the way you think they're going to work.
Yes, such a big lesson there. And you and I talked about this on your podcast where, sometimes the messaging, if your messaging is clear, then your avatar, you may go into it thinking your person is it looks like this it's this person. In your case, it's a teenage girl, right? When actually on the other side of that was moms, like, right? So the point is, if your message is super clear, your person self-selects in, and your avatar could be the same person, but in some cases it's not. So it's just really interesting how messaging can be interpreted different ways. And I think that
Yes.
was kind of what happened with you guys. You ended up attracting a whole different demographic, but look what you've done with it. Like, it's incredible. So I want to say, I see Lisa saying hey to you this morning. Do you know?
Hello?
From down under. So, and then we have, around is just saying, yeah, questions. We have, Don is in the house from New York. He's, I thought he said new. I was just going to say, hey. And then we have Teresa here as well. Hey, Teresa, good morning from Sarasota, right down the road here from me. You're in between me and Jillian this morning because she is in Miami on vacay.
Hence the hotel. Yes, here's the hotel room. Yes, and the weird lighting.
Yes, definitely. So, okay, so we kind of got the back end story of the party business that you have. Can you tell us a little bit about, because I always like to set the stage for like where you are now, and then we'll dig in. I promise we're going to dig into the actual workshop piece. But I think this is pertinent because what you're doing now also is why you have defined the system where people can create workshops so quickly. So tell us about Milo Tree and how did you get started with that? What did that look like?
Okay, so and by the way, hi Lisa. What I always say is look for problems that you're experiencing and see if you can solve them for yourself. Because if you can come up with a solution for yourself, chances are there are other people who are struggling with that problem. So for Catch My Party, this is just a really quick story. In the beginning, we relied a tremendous amount on Facebook. Facebook drove a lot of traffic to us, and we're like, whoa, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, Facebook started kind of turning down the reach. And we're like, oh no, we're going to go out of business if we don't get traffic from Facebook. And what we noticed at the time was we were getting traffic from Pinterest without even trying. So we recognized, like, okay, this is like, we want to kind of keep our company viable. So my husband, who is this technologist, built a pop-up that is on Catch My Party. If you go to Catch My Party right now, you'll see it, and it'll pop up and say, follow us on Pinterest. And guess what? It worked. And then we said, hey, if this is working for us, chances are we could help other bloggers and creators grow their social media followers. And community started reaching out to us and saying, yeah, this is cool. I want to grow Pinterest, but I also want to grow Instagram or YouTube, Facebook, my email list. So we built out this product, and guess what? It worked. And so if you have traffic and you install our pop-up on your site, it will grow your followers. And these are real followers. These are like your best followers, because these are people who now have been on your site. You install it on your blog, pops up, says follow me on Instagram, or what, you can program it however you like, and it works. So we're like, cool. So then again, so it's like that idea of you want to scratch your own itch. So we start broadening our reach, and we start coaching other bloggers, and we decide to create a membership. And just setting that up was really tricky. And then some people in our groups wanted to create memberships and paid workshops. But again, technology, just so you know this, technology is hard. In fact, my husband, who can do anything, like, we have it on our whiteboard, not here, but at home, where it just says technology is hard. And unless that's what you live, breathe, you will, like, I don't know about you, but like, I end up having to send myself like 6 password resets. Like, just even getting on this live stream, I was like freaking out because my password wasn't working. And we all run into this. So my husband and I stepped back and said, how can we help creators spread their message? Like, chances are we all have something to teach. And so if we could get in front of our audiences and actually know how to monetize it, that would be awesome. To deal with the headache of adding a payment platform, using this thing called Zap Connecting, could we do this easily? And this is what we set out to do. And we launched a product called Milo Tree Easy Payments. So it's an offshoot of Milo Tree. Milo Tree is a tool to help people with a pop-up grow their followers. And we're like, what else can we build to help creators? And this was top of mind because we had this problem and other people in our community were having it. So what we did was we set up this easy system where all you're going to do, connect your Stripe account, that's your payment platform, connect your email, and boom, we say, go use Zoom and we will help you get paid. And now you can show up in front of your people and you can monetize your audience. This way, you are no longer at the whim of the algorithms. And you can use the algorithms, you can use social media to attract your audience to you. But then what do you do with that audience? I'm giving you the solution, which is go show up live in front of them. And this goes back to what we were talking about before. Go test your idea before you create the course, before you do all of this work. This is like the easiest platform to test.
I love it. So I have to giggle. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing with you when you said the whole password thing. So like, right, y'all, like how many of you guys have this password issue? I guess probably, I don't know, 3 years ago, we installed LastPass and we've been using it team, across the board with our team. But until that, like passwords were like my like, probably number one problem, because I'd be like, okay, what's my password? I mean, even remembering my passwords for my computer, like how you have to have that little code to get in. I'm like, all right, it's a combination of these things. What is it again? So yeah, I think that that's always a struggle. The tech is, even if you have the knowledge, the tech sometimes stops you cold. And so I love that you guys, found a solution or crafted a solution for it.
So what we do, though, not just give you a way to get paid so that money gets directly deposited into your checking account. We give you links that you can share to get paid, but also we have a free, hosted by us, sales page creator. So you can create a sales page for whatever you're offering. In fact, you can create as many sales pages as you like and talk about messaging. What we want you to do is test and test and test cheaply, right. Like get message. Like, so what we say is, okay, you have an idea. So let's say, let's say I'm a painter and I use
okay, well, we're going to get into this, but I want to do it like a little sequential. So hang on just a second, because I know you're super excited about it. Because I'm like, so am I. I think it's such a great way for people to, like you said, validate an idea or otherwise. But let's break it down into the pieces a little bit. So let's go at it from the perspective of, like, I think a lot of times when people think live workshop, they think like what we're doing right now, like we just go live on social. So can you like speak to what a live workshop is and the framework of how you all teach it? Is it like Zoom? Is it Skype? Is it this? What is a live workshop?
I would say that it's honestly whatever you want it to be. So for me, the way that I recommend people do it is have a paid Zoom account where you can say go live for an hour, have an email service provider like MailChimp or ConvertKit or MailerLite, which is the one that I always recommend, and a Milo Tree Easy Payments account. Now, however you want to host it, if you want to host it on Skype, if you want to, again, my preference is always Zoom, but wherever you want to do it is totally fine. Now, you could do it on Facebook, like in a private Facebook group, and charge people to come. You could charge people, like the people who pay you, you can have some sort of upsell, like this is the thing that we wanted to be. We are platform agnostic. So all I'm giving you is the tools to monetize it and to and to make a sales page for it for free. And you get to do it. So like, for example, I just led a workshop and it was super meta because it was all about how to set up a paid workshop. And all I did was on Zoom, I created my link for my meet, I scheduled my meeting. I had a link. I put it into my emails to paid, sent it, let them know where to meet me at what time, and boom, I got a workshop. So I'm all about the low tech solution. I am
Yeah.
all about use systems, use platforms people already know.
Yeah, so, when I think of it, to your point, you had several options here, so I'm just gonna break them down just for a second. Obviously, Zoom, and when we say, I'll just clarify just a couple things. Like live is you going live and maybe it's it could be like the traditional webinar style, right? Where you have a slide deck. You could use GoToWebinar. You could use any kind of webinar platform. You could use Zoom. I would recommend Zoom as well. You could also tie Zoom together with all of your social platforms because you could use a tool like Restream and go live in all those places all at the same time. So that's another option. The nice thing though about Zoom that I want to key in on is because you can also, it's a way to collect email addresses, versus if you just go live. So that's another added benefit. But Zoom is free. Well, I guess if you want to do the webinar piece, but correct me if I'm wrong, Jillian, can you use their platform for free the first time for their webinar? Try it for a specific period of time.
I think you get 45 minutes. Free.
Okay. Well, so
yes,
you can do that.
But here's the thing. It's only like $15 a month. So do it for 1 month.
Exactly.
Like I want, and let me explain two more things. One, our platform, Milo Tree Easy Payments, you don't pay for it. There's no monthly fee. All we do is take a small transaction fee. So we don't make money until you do. You try this, you put it out there, you try to sell your workshop, nobody buys. Well, guess what? You haven't paid anything and we're not taking any sort of fee. And this is why I want to be the platform that you use to test out your ideas and to test them quickly.
Okay, so let's break down because I really want this to be about the live workshop and the components of it. So if somebody's just starting and they're like, they have an idea, and even if you want to tie this, let's just keep it to this away from the course idea for now. Let's just say you want to do some sort of a workshop. What is that first piece? Do you decide what the transformation is in that? How do you work? How do you, what is your headline? What would you recommend would be that first element to get you off the ground?
Okay, so the first thing that I think about is what problem are you solving for your audience? And you want it to be concrete, not general, where somebody goes so it's like, do I have this problem? Let's say I struggle with sleep and you're a sleep coach or you're a therapist or whatever, but you've got a system that could help me sleep. So let's say I have a baby and it's like how to sleep when you have young children. Well, then you go, could somebody have that problem? So if I'm like a person looking on the internet or whatever, and let's say you're a sleep coach and I'm interested in that, and you come to you promote something that says how to get to sleep in 30 minutes or less. And I'm like, ooh, it usually takes me 2 hours to go to sleep. You're my person. And then it's like how to get to sleep in 30 minutes or less without having to take any herbs or anything like that. And it's just using mindset or whatever. I'm making this up. But it's like, whoa, that's my problem. And that's the solution I'm looking for. I don't want to take melatonin. It kind of drugs me. You're my person. You've identified my specific problem. And I can say yes to that problem. Do I have that problem? Yes. And do I not want to have to use sleep aids? Yes. Great. And what I recommend then is you set up a 1-hour workshop to test this. And I recommend charging for it because people show up differently when they pay. And my recommendation is, if this is a cold audience, these aren't people you have a relationship with, charge something like $10 to $15. Like, it's just a couple coffees. It's not going to make or break me. If you don't deliver for me, I'm not like going, oh my God, I just wasted all this money. But it gets your audience used to paying for your services and your knowledge. And two, again, you will, like, people invest in stuff that they purchase versus how many webinars do you sign up for that are free and you're like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then you never show up live. You don't even watch the replay. So that's my first recommendation. Then this is what I recommend. Take your idea. First of all, go into Milo Tree Easy Payments in literally 5 minutes. You've got yourself your product. You can set up your sales page, and we lead you in setting up your sales page. Like, how do you think about it from your customer's point of view rather than your point of view? So it's got like all these fields to fill out, and it's easy. You're going to talk about the benefits. Oh, wow, get a good night's sleep. You know, don't be tired for your children. Like, be a better mom because you're not tired for your children. And what do I get? I'm going to get an hour-long Zoom call. Let's say I'm going to get a PDF with affirmations or a meditation, a recorded meditation. Like, you're going to list all that I'm going to get from a workshop. And then you're going to go, all right, I'm going to test this. And I'm going to put it on social media, and I'm going to email it to my list. And I'm going to see if, in fact, people are interested in the offer. Now, let's say nobody buys, and I go, okay, so wait, Michelle just said, what did you say the easy payments is? It's just milotree.com/easy payments. That's
okay. So we're getting ahead of ourselves again too. So I don't, just real quick, I want to like try to break this down just a little bit in the context of what if somebody doesn't use Milo Tree, maybe they're using something else. So, you know, and that was one of our questions Teresa Jean just asked. She's like, I'm not sure why I use Milo Tree versus some other platform. Honestly, this isn't about Milo Tree specifically. That's definitely, Jillian's tool, and you definitely need to check it out. But I'm more concerned about the strategy on the front side for people so that you understand what you need to do to make sure that you can use her tool when you get there, or any other tool.
Totally. So here's the beauty. You were talking about email addresses.
Yes.
So when somebody signs up through Milo Tree, that email address gets automatically sent into your email service provider. So now all of a sudden you have this way to not only monetize, but to collect all those email addresses. So in order to, so Teresa's saying she doesn't have an email list to start with. First thing, sign up for an email service provider like MailerLite.
Yeah. And I would recommend, you know, there's all kinds of them out there, you know, I'm a big fan of ActiveCampaign, having used them all over the years, but there's, at the end of the day, you need one. You're going to need, even if you don't have an email list, you're going to need an email service provider in order to facilitate so many things in your business. That's where the money is. But let's address that real quick. Let's not, I mean, maybe if she doesn't have it yet, but she wants to do a webinar. I mean, she wants to do a workshop, a paid workshop. She doesn't have any community necessarily in the sense of an email list. But Teresa, you might have people that you're connected to on social media that if you told them about the workshop, they would say, yeah, I want to participate in this. So that would be one strategy for you to go after people for your workshop. Let people know that you're doing it, consistently advertising it. So when it comes to, we talked about the transformation piece first, deciding what your transformation is. So we have an example up here, and I wanted to pull it out because I thought it might help others. Lydia is saying that she helps business owners with digital clutter, like passwords and bookmarks, is what I do. When you have systems in place, you save millions of microseconds. Absolutely. So if Lydia wanted to create a workshop, what, like from a transformational perspective, like how would you, like from a headline, what would you suggest for her?
I would say something like, are you overwhelmed with passwords? You know, I would say something like save, and you'd have to add up the minutes, like how much time, but like save 15 minutes a week by decluttering your passwords. Like, give me what it is I'm going to get, because I want 15 minutes back every week, or maybe like half an hour or something like that, with no tech skills. So it's like, what's my issue? My issue is that, like, my computer is just a big mess. I'm wasting all this time, all these microseconds. You're going to give me a system that I can implement, but I'm not tech savvy. So my problem is, I'm not tech savvy, and I'm wasting all this time. Tell me how much time I'm going to save by doing this, like why I should do this, and that it's not going to be complicated. And then boom, you've got a solution that I would want. So what specifically are you, versus like, hey, declutter your passwords. Like, I don't exactly know what that means, but if you're going to save me actual time in my life, that's a really big win for me. So how can you put it in the language of somebody struggling with something? And time is such a great thing that we all struggle with. If you can give me back time, I'm your girl.
Yeah, I agree. Anytime you can save people time and money, it's a win. So if you can, message it in that capacity, finding out and do some little bit of research, finding out what people are searching for when it comes to the password struggle. I think that would help you get a workshop off the ground. So let's talk real quick about what types of businesses do you think are best suited for workshops? Or is it all businesses, or is it like just certain types of businesses?
If you solve a problem for people, and by the way, that could be, I need to decorate my mantle for the holidays, and I don't know how. Like, meaning it's not like it has to be some big problem for people, but if that's what you do, like you make crafting easy for people, or you make my house look good because I want my house to look good because my in-laws are coming for Christmas. So if you can identify what you provide as a problem that people have. So again, back to the idea of, like, you don't want to use terminology that only you understand. You want to be able to put it in layman's terms. And if there are people raising their hand going, yeah, I got that problem, you can help me. It will work for anybody with a tangible solution to a problem people have.
Yeah, I'm so agree with you. So there's two types of workshops that we commonly see. There's the free and there's the paid. And of course, we're talking today about the, making money with this. What do you have, like a range of pricing that you suggest? You mentioned earlier, charging something low ticket if you don't, have a lot of a bigger community, or no, let me restate. I think you said cold community, but let's say you have a community of people that, like, maybe you have 1,000 people on your email list. You're going to do a specific workshop around something that would give them a transformation. You're going to give a few additional things, maybe a workbook or a worksheet or something with it. What would that look like? What kind of fee could they charge for something like this?
This is such a good question. And this is where I would say, I don't know exactly what your niche is. And I don't know. So for example, let's say it's like you solve some sort of luxury problem and your audience are filled with super rich people. Of course, then I would probably set my price high because people, again, value what they pay for. But let's say I'm targeting people who are in debt and don't have a lot of money. I would then go, oh, let's start this lower. But here's the great thing, again, about our solution. I say go test it. So you can start with, let's say, a higher price. And if people aren't buying, you could then lower your price and offer, just update your sales page. But again, I usually say, if you don't know these people necessarily, they don't know you, definitely go. Like, I recommend somewhere between $10 and $30. However, when you think about growing your business, my recommendation is you start in at something lower. And if you can deliver for your audience, they will come back. So this isn't just a one-time get-rich-quick scheme. This is my way, getting you to show up, open up your wallet, and put money down. But again, not something where if I lost this money, I'd be devastated. But then if you can deliver, and all of a sudden you're the person who solves the problem of passwords and just overwhelm when it comes to your computer, oh my God, now you're going to offer me another workshop on, like, how to use what do you use FirstPass? We use 1Password. Like, how to use this? I will step up again and pay again for this. And then let's say you've now delivered for me multiple times. I can now continue to offer more and more expensive solutions, or I can offer a membership where you show up and for $30 a month, you're going to help me, like, teach me how to declutter who knows what. So it's, think about it as a ladder. This is just the first rung on your ladder. I hope people show up and pay you thousands of dollars at the beginning. But if they can just even pay you $10, what a great breakthrough. And showing up live, people are forgiving. Like, I'm sitting in my hotel room, my lighting is weird, listening, and you're like, oh, she's Jillian, cool, she's talking to me right now. There's something, I don't know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Whereas if I go, oh, here's my idea for a course, and I'm going to go off and spend 6 months creating the course, and my video looks like this, you'll probably be like, what, she could like fix her video? You hold people to different standards depending on how they show up, which is why I always recommend at first testing your ideas by showing up live. Let it be a little rough. See if people kind of come along with you on that journey.
Yeah, and testing is great, but my suggestion would be to go into your workshop with a goal. Like, is your goal to test an idea? Is your goal to make a certain dollar amount? And sometimes you could have both of those goals too. By the way, you could be testing an idea, but you could also be what was the other testing an idea, but you also have a monetary goal. But the thing I think a lot of times people, when they're in the test mode, they get discouraged when they don't necessarily get the results they're looking for. So remember, you're testing, and part of it is figuring out where it is broke. Like, is it your messaging? Is it what you delivered? Even though Jillian's right, a lot of people are super forgiving. At the end of the day, if this is people's first touch point with you, you need to deliver the goodies. You need to have, at a minimum, I mean, they'll forgive bad video, but they won't forget bad sound. So, do some testing before you go live and making sure some things are in place. But you want to make sure that you are absolutely delivering good value to them. And then you tweak from there. Like, if you don't get as many sales as you want, then you go back and you circle back. But this is just such a great strategy, I think.
One thing, though, to your point exactly, is if you think about this as a ladder, then what you want to be doing is, when I set up my first workshop, I have my next workshop that I'm going to promote at the end of my first one. I know the journey.
Wait. Okay, wait, because I love this. So that was my next question, actually. What are some good strategies for the actual workshop? And that's one of them, I bet you. So give us like 3 good strategies of how how do you run a successful workshop, so that things you've learned, essentially.
Totally. Okay, so the main thing, and we were talking about this, is you talk about it as transformation, and I talk about it as a win. If I can give you a win at the end of an hour and move you forward on your journey, you will come along with me. So if it's just a bunch of platitudes and there's no real direction, at the end of it, like, if you go, well, what was that about? It's a lot harder than for you to go, oh yeah, I'm moving forward. I got to stay with this. This is cool. So what I always teach is, you show up and by the way, like, we've got like a Canva template to help you put together a presentation. I recommend you have 3 teaching points in your hour. Like, this is not overwhelm for you, and this is not overwhelm for your audience. But each teaching point, you're breaking down whatever your topic is into just 3 pieces that you're going to teach in an hour. You are going to, of course, stay for questions because you want to be available to your audience. But you're really going to focus on, what is the win? So if I'm decluttering my passwords, how can I turn that into like almost like a switch? Like, you do it or you don't do it, but like, I can get you to do this. And I can maybe give you a checklist at the end of like how to think about this, how to clean up your computer, and how to think about a password manager or whatever it is. But it's all about the concrete and about helping somebody on their journey. So you have to identify beforehand, what is that journey? What is that problem I'm solving? And how can I move them forward? And again, then what is my next offer that gets them even further down the path with a concrete win for that as well? And if I can start to transform your life, you will continue to pay me because your life is getting better.
Yes, I so agree. And so, like, framing that up, like, would you recommend that at the end of that workshop that you present the next thing? You don't let them just continue to try to figure out how to bump into it, right? You present the next thing to them.
No, that's like a big part. Oh, first of all, I recommend having a couple of what I call bonuses or a bonus, usually something where it's a little unexpected, where they have access to you. So for example, like, let's say it's a workshop on like writing emails effectively to your audience. And I teach people how to do copywriting. At the end, like the final, maybe I give you some templates of emails like you were talking about in your offer. But then I say, hey, if you reach out to me and send me your first email, I'll review it myself. So all of a sudden now you're emailing me. We have this close relationship. You see that I'm going to deliver on. Now, if you've got thousands of people and you don't want to have to review thousands of emails, I get that. But chances are when you're first starting out, you will find maybe 4 people will email you. But what do you think? And you give it back to them. And this is how you create those raving fans. This is how you create and build those relationships with your, what I call your evangelists, the people who go, oh my God, wow, she really delivered. She went above and beyond. So,
Yeah,
you
really
want to
pour
kind
it
of
into
have,
them. Yes.
the more you pour in, the more you give, the more they go, oh, she understands me. She sees me. She sees my problem and she wants to help. And then at the end of your first workshop is where you offer your next workshop, because you've got people at the most excited, feeling that transformation, rather than like a week later, you're like, hey, remember me? We did this thing together. It's like, no, and you do that follow-up email immediately afterwards where you deliver, here's the PDF. Hey, if you write your email, send it to me. Just reply to this email. Like, you make it so easy for them to build this relationship with you, and vice versa. You're building the relationship with them.
Yeah, and I would say too, it doesn't necessarily have to be another workshop. In fact, unless you have if that's your model, I would suggest if you do something low cost like this, you sell them into something that's more robust, some sort of a training course, or get them on the call and sell them into a coaching program or something like that, so that you can monetize that relationship a little deeper. But workshops are fabulous, I think, for getting people to spend that first dollar with you. It's kind of that low ticket price thing where you're giving value, and still not at a price point that most people can't afford, or are not ready for potentially. Sometimes it's a combination of those things. So I love that. So if I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say, one of the hardest things I think we all struggle with as entrepreneurs is getting out of ourselves and seeing the world from our customer's point of view. So let's say, like, I know I can deliver on something, right? But you don't know that I can. So for me to say, oh my God, I promise you, Kim, this is going to be, you're going to get, like, I'm charging $100 and I promise you're going to get value. Like, you don't know that. I know it because I'm on this side, but you're out here, like, what's behind door number 1? So therefore, you got to get people through the door to see what you're about. So always be thinking about it from your customer's point of view, who doesn't know that you're going to deliver. Maybe they bought a bunch of courses that didn't pan out. They didn't get a transformation. So it's like, how do we, because a lot of times people will be like, but I'm worth more. I should be charging $50, because wait till they see what they're going to get. But you have to go, wait a minute, but they don't know what they're going to get. So give them a taste of you. Charge for it, like you were saying, but give them then so they go, oh, so once that door opens, they're like, wow, you wowed me.
Yeah. One other strategy I've seen work, and we've done variations of it, but I'll just give you a couple I've seen. I've seen where people are charging, $37, $47 for their workshop, and then they have what's called a VIP option as well. So, they'll have that's direct access. Like you'll have in a separate Zoom call for the people who do the VIP. And that's not usually, like I've seen digital marketer do this, where they'll do a $47 workshop, and then they'll have that VIP option where, it might be another $97 or something. And they'll provide, after the workshop's over, they go live on a separate Zoom link and they answer all the questions and stuff. And they don't do that for the people that are just paying the $47. So that's a little bit deeper monetization strategy. Maybe you wouldn't, if you haven't ever run a workshop before, you wouldn't necessarily want to do that out the gate. Because I think, again, in the interest of testing this, getting your first one out the door. So that's kind of as I have one last question, maybe sort of, is what would be the first steps that you would recommend people do in the process if they've never run a workshop before? What would be like the first three things they should do to start them down this road?
The first thing I would recommend is figure out what problem you solve for your audience in language that makes sense to them. And then I would think about what is your transformation? So what is the win you could provide them in 1 hour where there's no overwhelm? It's weird. We think we need to deliver. And again, going back to this idea of looking at it from your customer's point of view, what is the least amount you can deliver that won't, where they feel good? It's like you don't want them to go, oh my God, you're providing so much and I've got now so much to do. It's like almost like you want to do the opposite. What is the minimum amount I can give you so that you see your life getting better? And then I would check out like Milo Tree Easy Payments and just set up your account and get your email subscribers, your email service provider set up. But then what I would do is, if you have a way to start talking to your audience, whether that be going live on Facebook or Instagram or posting about it and asking your audience, hey, how are you struggling around this problem? Like, get them involved and invested so that and then you can kind of drip out the fact that you've got something coming, that you really want to help them. Maybe somebody responds to you with the problem that you want to solve. Go reach out to them, make it personal. We talked about this, Kim, on my podcast, that as the internet's gotten bigger, it's also gotten smaller. The more you can connect with actual people rather than like, I'm just teaching this thing to lots of people. No, you're teaching this to individuals. And one of the reasons why I personally like Zoom, I like seeing people's faces. I like being able to say, I see you, who has a question, and seeing people respond. It like creates a level of intimacy. And so instead of thinking about, oh my God, I've got to put together all these PDFs and I've got to have all of these things I'm going to teach, think about it as a way to help people, real individuals, and connect with those real individuals.
I love that. And I totally agree. And I just wanted to announce our winners today. We have Paul and Teresa won the How to Plan and Launch a Last Minute Holiday Campaign. Like I said, all you have to do, there is training, but the emails and stuff is already wrote for you. So technically you could bust out your Black Friday sale or your Cyber Monday sale if you got busy with it and figuring out what that is, if you haven't already. In some cases, you probably already have. I also wanted to say real quick before, I meant to tell you guys about this before, and then I'm going to ask Jillian to tell you guys where you can connect with her. But I know we get this question almost every time when we give away our workshops. Like our Black Friday sale is starting tomorrow. And all of our courses are going to be 90% off. Yeah, 90% off. So if you've had your eye on something like, and you're like, I just can't, like, I'm not sure I can justify paying for that right now. 90% off. So I'm just saying, tomorrow you can grab any of our stuff, courses for 90% off. Throwing that out there a little bit. So, Jillian, tell everybody how they can connect with you, where they can find you, social, whatever. Let everybody know where
Absolutely.
they can connect.
So again, because I do think about my business as one-to-one. If you have any questions or whatever, I would love to talk to you. So please reach out to me at Jillian at milotree.com or DM me at Milo Tree. And if you want to, two things. If you want to check out Milo Tree Easy Payments, it's milotree.com/easy payments. But even better, I just led a workshop on how to set up a workshop. And you can see the sales page I used, which is the one that we offer for free. And you can even buy it for $10 and you'll get all of the recordings and you'll get all of the checklist and the templates and everything you need to set up your own workshop. And you can find this at work.milotreecart.com. And it's a really, I would love you just even to go to that page, because you'll see this is the free sales page that we offer that you can set up in about 10 minutes to start testing your messaging. And we help guide you through that. But it's just like, my feeling is go. We spend so much time trying to get our ducks in a row, trying to make sure that we dotted every I and crossed every T. But just like the story I shared at the top about Catch My Party, we had visions of what it was going to be like and all the teen girls that we were going to help. And it didn't turn out that way. And the only way we figured this out was by launching it and seeing what happened. So therefore, if you've got an idea and you feel like, I don't know if it would work, my advice is go try it. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I say this, it's okay to be embarrassed. Like, it's really okay to test stuff and for it not to go necessarily the way you think it's going to, because you will do better next time. But the only way you learn is by pushing yourself to do it.
So true. And, regardless of what that is, whether it's a workshop or anything else, the difference between results and no results is action. And even I would argue that even if you don't have the success that you're looking for the first time around, there's a magic in that experience. Figure out what didn't work, why it didn't work, and then go forward from there. So it's all, and marketing is always an evolution. So thank you, Jillian, for sharing your awesome sauce with us. We are so appreciative. All of you that have joined us live or are watching on the replay, thank you. We know time is valuable. So when you spend some with us, we appreciate you. So have a great day, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Do amazing things this week. And we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Thank you